Welcome back. In this session we're going to be working on the actual water lilies for our Monet water lily painting. And in previous sessions I said I would teach you how to draw the water lilies. So we just got done looking at some of those pictures and we noticed that the water lilies are really ovals. And we noticed that the oval looking like that had a little like pizza slice taken out of it. And the pizza slice goes all the way to the middle and then comes back. And then you would erase this little piece in here if you were drawing them out. Now, when I do mine in the demonstration, I'm just going to kind of do this circle and pizza slice all in one stroke. So I'll have one curved line and then the zigzag in there. Okay. We also saw that the water lilies overlap. Okay, so you'll have one in the front, one behind it, then maybe another one back here, and they're kind of all lumped together into a big patch of water lilies. And that Monet actually went through and kind of picked out the water lilies that didn't fit into a little patch because he wanted to see the water in between. He wanted to have them be this kind of floating ethereal like feel to the water lilies. So we're going to have our water lilies kind of grouped in one session, grouped in another session, grouped in another session. So they're different little floating islands of water lilies. So if you want to, for this session, you can practice drawing a couple of them, practice overlapping some of them, and then start working on putting them into your painting, because once you get them in your painting you can't really take them out too easily. So we're going to be making our water lilies with soft chalk pastels. Now most people just will call, like most artists would just call them pastels instead of oil pastels, but to make the difference prominent, I call them chalk pastels. And the chalk pastels are different because they're just that, they're just colored chalk. Basically, depending on what you mix with the pigment, they have a different feel to them than the oil because they're chalky and kind of dusty. So you're going to have one of these sitting at your table to share, and we'll probably have two. And depending on what year we do this or whatever, the chalk pastels might look different. This is the brand that I have at the moment. So what you're going to do is choose a color. I'm going to actually start with a dark, we're going to try a dark green here and see how that works. And I'm going to make kind of a few of the water lilies. Now with the water lilies, you're going to want to overlap them over the top of the horizontal lines that we made in our last session. Obviously in the front you're going to want them to be bigger, and as they get to farther away and in the back they're going to be smaller because they're farther away from us. So right up here in the front I'm going to start with one water lily right here. Here's my first water lily. Now you'll notice that it lets a little bit of the blue from my paint show through. And the trick is we want to save that quality. We want to have the blue and the colors coming through a little bit. Okay? And so I'm going to take this and I'm going to color it in, and I'm going to use the side of my my chalk pastel to kind of get those looking like that. Now I'm going to start overlapping them a little bit. I'm going to put one back here. I'm going to put another one up here. And another one kind of hanging off the page out here, so that we have this like group of little water lilies back here. Okay, now I've kind of used that color for the undercoat, and then I'm going to take a second color. I'm going to use this yellow, and I'm going to kind of outline and put like a little highlight on the top of them. And you can see how those pastels will mix together pretty well. Also, before you do this, your painting has to be totally dry. Otherwise, it won't work out very well. Now I'm going to use this purple color and this magenta color to kind of outline underneath of them. So I'm going to kind of put in a shadow right down here, right down there. I'm going to outline there and there. And what we're doing is we're outlining it so that people will see the outlines. And this is a really Monet-like trick, is to use the outline of the broken color. So there's like my water lilies in this front part. Now I'm going to switch up to here, and I'm going to change my color just a little bit because it's not going to show up very well on this dark green over here. So I'm going to choose a lighter green and work with that. Yeah, there we go. That's going to show up a little better. Okay, there's one water lily. Second water lily. I'm going to put a third one over here. And you should try to choose like odd numbered groups of water lilies. Here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm probably going to stick with 5 because it's, you know, not too much, not too little. You do want to have, you know, the water lilies looking nice. You want to have them grouped nicely so that you can see them working together as like a group. Okay, and you want to have them overlapping your horizontal strokes of color that you've had before in the painting. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to outline with my purple to kind of outline it and show people where the edges are. Okay, so there's one group, there's the second group, and now I'm going to get back into the smaller ones. I've gotten to the bottom third of my paper. Here's the bottom third of my paper, right where the top of the bridge is. And now I'm going to start making more groups, but I'm going to make them smaller and kind of like more patchworky. Okay, so here's my like light yellow again, or sorry, my yellowish green. And I'm actually going to switch a little bit to like an orangey and keep that yellow going on in there so that we can have them stand out against this yellow. And I'm going to put one right up here, and notice that here I'm going to start to make them smaller. I'm just kind of drawing ovals now. I'm not drawing the pizza pie shape. I'm drawing more ovals, and I'm going to take this yellow and just kind of oval around where I want those ovals to be. Okay, so you can see those ovals there. And then I'm going to take my purple, I'm going to underline or outline them a little bit, not all the way, just half of it or so that they stand out as ovals and as water lilies. And notice how I've overlapped them right on top of that bridge. I did that on purpose so that it would stand out against the bridge, because we want to have that bridge be part of the painting, but we also want to let people know that it's a reflection in the water. So put one of your water lily groups over the top of your bridge that's in the water so that we see that's a continuous pattern back there. Now I'm going to do my last one farthest away, right up here by the shoreline, and this is going to be like my thinnest ovals, because as the ovals get farther away they get thinner and thinner, right? So here's my ovals in this group, and they're nice and far away and thin. I'm going to kind of outline a little bit on the top with my yellow. So that they look like they're reflecting the light a little bit. And I'm going to underline them with my purple, kind of outline underneath them with this purple to kind of bring them out like that. And I'll even get some of this magenta here. It's going to really make it pop. You don't need to press hard. Okay, so I missed the magenta here, so I'm going to use a little bit here, kind of make those pop a little bit more. Okay. Throw some magenta in these ones too, so it's a little bit more consistent. So there's our water lilies on top of the water floating back, getting smaller into space. One thing that you will notice is I overlapped them over my horizontal strokes of paint, which is good. That's what we want. We want them over that. We also want at least one group kind of overlapping the reflected bridge, and that'll give us a difference between the real bridge at the top and the reflected bridge in the middle. Okay, if you get or these chalk pastels and they're dirty, you can always wipe them off on a paper towel to get them clean. Okay, and you do want to press gently with them so that you don't break them, one, and two, so that you have a little bit of that watercolor showing through, and it'll give more of a broken effect to your painting when you're done with it. So when you're done with the chalk or pastels, put them back into the container so they're nice and ready for the next person to use them. And that pretty much concludes our Monet water lily painting.